But as I was telling Shadowheart to get lost for the third time, a thought struck me. I'm Sneaky Frank. I can pickpocket people really well. See what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try to steal Shadowheart's artifact. Alright everyone, welcome back to me pulling my hair out live. That's actually not right, this isn't live, and I'm actually just playing Baldur's Gate solo, and I told all my companions to get lost. But if you haven't seen the first episode, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. I'm trying to do this completely solo. I told all my companions to get lost. I'm playing as the rogue and an elf to try to be sneaky and try to stealth this the best I can, and I've named my character Sneaky Frank, so he's extra sneaky because sneaky is in his name. At the end of last episode, I managed to take out everyone that was at the top of the old church on the starting beach, and then promptly fell in the big hole and died. And then we pick up there. So being that I died and I didn't save after I finished that fight, like the idiot I am, I gotta go back and redo that fight. So to start off this fight this time, I stealthed up on the archer, tried to do a sneak attack, and completely missed, because that's Sneaky Frank for you. He's not that good at what he does. Sneaking. So, next shot, hit him for 7, moved up, took out the archer. Piece of cake. So next up, I went up to that archer's balcony that he was chilling on, and started just sniping down on the other two, and luckily, they didn't seem to know where I was, and they just kind of sat there and took it, so very happy about that, and this fight went relatively easily. So a quick ran through, looted all the people that I may or may not have just murdered, definitely did, and very much avoided that big hole in the middle I fell into last time. So next up was lockpicking my way into the underground part of this old church, and taking out the guy that was chilling behind the door. Yeah, he didn't stand a chance. Matter of fact, yeah, he died because he tried to run away from me, and I got an attack of opportunity, so he's a little bit of a loser, so let's make fun of him here real quick. Haha, loser. So next up is a vital part of entering any old crypt, dungeon, whatever you want to call it, loot goblining, and taking everything that's not bolted down. And I found here the best loot I've found yet, an entire wheel of cheese. So, cheese in pocket, I moved onto the door up here and pulled the lever and alerted the woman behind the door that I kind of forgot was there. So I knew she was going to run to the other door to try to alert everyone else that's hiding in that other room, who I didn't quite want to deal with at this time, because I'm still only level 2, so that's not that good. So I tried to take her out before she could get there, but unfortunately she alerted them. So, I just straight up died. And do you think I saved before going into this fight? And, after clearing everyone up top? No, of course I didn't. So, back we go. Oh boy. So I'm going to save you all the struggle of watching me do the exact same fight over again. Just know, I murdered everyone up top, and I stole their cheese. That's all that really matters. So while I was sitting there stealing all their cheese, I had a thought. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should have some mercy on these people that are chilling in the bottom of an old temple. Not because I want to actually have mercy on them, but because I can't fight them right now. So I'm making my way over to the druid's hideout. So I made my way to the top of this hill right by the gates. I get a nice vantage point to shoot down on the goblins that would inevitably show up once I start this cutscene. So I picked this hill so I could take out the archer goblins that show up pretty easily, and when I say I had horrible luck, I mean I missed my first attack. I critical missed my second attack. I had a quick healing potion because I was getting low on health, missed my next attack, and then promptly died. So yeah, I guess we're running that one back. We'll save you some of the trouble of this long drawn out fight and say, this time I managed to take out those archer goblins very quickly, and kind of let everyone else do the rest of the work. So you know what? Thumbs up for Sneaky Frank, because he's not dead. So after the fight was over, I quick looted all the goblins that are outside and made my way into the grove. Once I got into the grove, I came up and talked to Zevlor and whatever his name is, the angry mercenary man. And I'm not gonna lie, I decided to sit back and just let everything play out, and I got a pretty good laugh about him getting completely knocked out cold. With that over and settled, I talked to Zevlor and decided, you know what? Sneaky Frank may be sneaky, but he's also a decent guy. So you know what? In this playthrough, I'm gonna help out the grove. I'm gonna help out all the tieflings here, and I'm gonna try to save everyone from the goblins. Also, being that I'm Sneaky Frank, I was sitting here looking at this man who was knocked unconscious to the ground, and I thought, I could help him. Or I could pickpocket him. So I went with the latter and decided to pickpocket him and take everything he had. And I feel like this might have awakened something in me, because I decided, you know what? I'm going to help the grove, but I'm also going to steal as much stuff as possible while I'm here, and if it's not bolted down, it's mine. So an important part of any good Dungeons & Dragons adventure is that sweet, sweet feeling of selling all the random crap you've picked up throughout your adventure that you forced your Dungeon Master to come up with because you wanted to pick up some random loot. I did that here, because now I'm in the grove, I finally have access to a trader, so I took everything that I had been stacking up in my camp and sold it to this guy here. While I was here, just absolutely selling all my crap, I found a cool bow that I wanted from this guy. It says once per short rest, I can regain a level 1 spell slot. I don't currently have any spells, but once I start getting into some wizard spells I can use, this is going to become really handy later on. I also decided to pick up these gloves of missile snaring that he has so that, you know, when I'm trying to run away because I'm a coward and I'm going to be trying to cheese this game since I'm playing solo, I can absorb some more damage from arrows and whatnot. Then I've got some new gear. I said I could show it to the most important person in the grove, the strange ox. I don't know what's up with this ox. It's strange. I never figured out my normal playthrough either, so if you know, if you let me know in the comments, that'd be really handy. Thank you. But it's strange, and I'm leaving it alone. So who do we run into past the ox other than our dark, brooding friend, Shadowheart? You know, the person I left to die on the Nautiloid, the person I told to get lost and go deal with those intellect devourers on the beach. Yeah, she's not happy to see me. This is not a good encounter. I need to run. But as I was telling Shadowheart to get lost for the third time, a thought struck me. I'm Sneaky Frank. I can pickpocket people really well. See what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to steal Shadowheart's artifact. Yeah, so that went about exactly as expected. She killed me immediately. Now, you may be looking at my save screen here and going, oh no, did Nate not save after doing all that buying and selling and talking to the ox? No, of course Nate didn't save after doing all that. He just tried to steal Shadowheart's artifact and got killed immediately. Now Nate has to go redo all of that. Now Nate's talking in the third person. And am I Sneaky Frank? Am I Nate? I'm losing my mind. Oh no. So moving on, I went to go talk to Will. Not because I needed to talk to him, but just because I wanted to let him know I'm here, we could team up, but get lost. So, revisiting my earlier statement about stealing everything that's not bolted down, saw this very interesting looking, like, storehouse type deal over here and thought, you know what? That's probably got things I can take. I'll probably need those later. You know, need them later. So I came across a woman that's kind of just sitting on the ground who told me her legs don't work right. And she mentioned she got a potion from Auntie Ethel. And that this was a side effect. Starting to think Auntie Ethel might be evil. So being that, again, my name is Sneaky Frank and I like to steal things, I tried to steal some loot from in here, and, you know, did not go over well. She called the guards, so, promptly made my way out of there. So I decided it was time to stop messing around and telling all my allies to get lost, and start moving the story along. So I made my way down to the Druid's Circle, and I found out that, well, there was this big angry bear roaring at me, that the head Druid actually wanted to see me. So, made my way down in there. Now, who did I find in here but a man talking to a bear? Turns out a very charismatic man named Volo. Now, he wanted to hear the story about how I defeated the goblins at the gates. So I embellished a little bit, as one does when, you know, talking about stories defeating goblins, and told him there was a dragon and whatnot. You know, it was a much more difficult fight than it was. He was plenty happy with what he heard. So now that I'm done tooting my own horn, I decided to actually advance the plot here. So I moved into the head druid's chambers and found her threatening the life of a child, so that's not ideal. Now, Sneaky Frank may love stealing stuff, but he does not love senseless violence. So I was able to talk down the head druid into releasing the child, and I decided to ask her why she was threatening the child. So it turns out she's just trying to protect the grove. I don't think I exactly agree with trying to murder a child to do that, but you know what, at least she's got a reason here, I guess? She asked if I could get all the tieflings out of their grove so they could have this big fancy ritual they'll seal it off from the outside world, and I said I would do it. Not necessarily to help the druids, but just to get the tieflings to safety before the druids end up murdering them or something. So next up while I'm down here, I decided to go talk to the Nettie I've heard so much about. The one who supposedly can get this thing out of my eyeball. Yeah, turns out she didn't exactly live up to that part of the deal. She might have been trying to kill me with a sharpened branch, but she offered some solutions. Maybe if I go save this Master Helson, I can get the thing out of my eye, so that's nice. And she also gave me this cool free jar of poison, so might do something with that later, we'll find out. So I decided I should make my way over to Zevlor over here and see what he's thinking about leaving the grove. And on my way, I ran into Auntie Ethel. Yeah, after now that I'm actually talking to her, she's 100% evil. I don't know exactly how or in what way, but she's evil. She is definitely evil. So I'm gonna get away very quickly from her and go actually talk to Zevlor. But, you know, not first before buying all of her health potions, because, you know, those probably aren't tainted. They should be okay. They don't have any odd descriptions on them. But after that, I am definitely getting away from her. Zevlor, how's it going? I'm here to talk. Yeah. So I chatted with Zevlor. Agreed. They kind of need to leave the grove, but he said they can't do it right now because there's too many goblins out there on the road. So if I could take out the goblin leadership, they would probably scatter. Now that sounds like quite a difficult task because, you know, just one of me sneaking into a goblin lair and taking out multiple leaders. Could be difficult, but I like the challenge. I think this could be a good challenge here for Sneaky Frank. So now that I've got my big task, this seems like a perfect time for a cliffhanger. So if you enjoyed watching the video today, if you could leave a like down below and maybe subscribe to the channel, that would really help me out, and then you can stay tuned for the next video. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.